Hey YouTube, Kira Twig here, bringing you all my Evil Twin Fiendsmith Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck profile for post the 2025 Megatins. We finally got easier access to the majority of the Fiendsmith engine in the latest Yu-Gi-Oh! Megatins. Lacrima, Fiendsmith track, you name it, all more easily available in the set for you to be able to add into your many different decks. Wanted to start off with the Live Twin Evil Twin deck, just because the deck is a lot more consistent when you can add in the Fiendsmith package to be able to run as well in tandem with the many different Fiend plays we can use for the extra deck. So very happy with the results, been having a lot more fun with the deck for sure. So let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. So we'll go ahead and start off with the main deck monsters. For the Live Twin monsters, we're running 3 copies of Live Twin Kiss Kill with this card. Each time your opponent declares an attack, you can gain 500 life points. While not the main go-to play, the main play is if it's normal or special summon and you control no other monsters, you can special summon a Lil Law monster from your hand or deck. You can only use this effect of Kiss Kill once per turn, but the main grab is to then grab Lil Law Suite, because on top of that we have another special summon play from the graveyard to utilize with Lil Law Suite. And our other copy of Kiss Kill that we run is Kiss Kill Frost, another target to summon off of the normal Live Twin Lil Law. This card, when it's in the graveyard and our opponent adds a card from their deck to the hand, you can banish it to draw 1 card, and also having a special summon play from our hand if we control a Lil Law monster. So if we open this up, it can just be another extender to get more monsters out on the field. For the Lil Law monsters, we run 2 copies of Live Twin Lil Law, having the same setup. If it's normal or special summon, to summon out a Kiss Kill monster from the deck to the field if we control no other monsters. We're only running 2 of this card because I would say the better play is obviously to summon out Kiss Kill Live Twin and then use her to grab Sweet, because Sweet is a better extender than Frost is when you have it off of your Live Twin Lil Law. And then the last of the Live Twin monsters being the 3 copies of Live Twin Lil Law Suite. When your opponent activates a card or effect in response to your Live Twin card or effect, in activation quick effect, you can discard this card and negate that opponent's effect. And if you control a Kiss Kill monster and this card's in your graveyard, you can special summon this card. But while it's face up in the monster zone, you got special summon from the extra deck, except for Fiend monsters, which once again really isn't a restriction because the majority of cards that we will summon out, including our Fiendsmith engine, are all Fiend monsters. For the actual Fiendsmith engine that we run, 3 copies of Fiendsmith Engraver. You can discard this card to add 1 Fiendsmith spell or trap from your deck to your hand. You can target 1 Fiendsmith equip card you control and 1 monster in the field. Send them to the graveyard. If this card's in your graveyard, you can shuffle 1 other light Fiend monster from your graveyard into the deck / extra deck to special summon this card. You can only use this effect of Engraver once per turn, but just being able to utilize this play can then help to set up our next go-to play with the setup of these cards as well. For the summon, with the main search obviously being for Engraver to add Fiendsmith track, and then having the search for our Fabled Lurie, getting the discard, then having the 1 monster out to then be able to summon out our Fiendsmith Requiem, and then being able to use the tribute effect to special summon a Fiendsmith monster from the hand or deck, which the one we grab being our Lacrima of Crimson Tears, because then if this card's no more special summon, you can send 1 Fiendsmith card from your deck to the graveyard, except for Lacrima, and during your opponent's turn, if it's in your graveyard, you can target a Fiendsmith Link monster in your graveyard, shuffle this card into the deck, and special summon that monster. Having that resource, and then the Fabled Lurie to be able to summon off of the Fiendsmith tracked, add, and discard to then give you that additional monster. The whole engine works very, very well together, so you want to maintain all of that setup thanks to these cards. For the hand traps in the deck, we do have a pretty big hand trap lineup just because you really only need to rely on the couple monsters, so the rest of the cards you open up in your hand can be your hand traps. So the 3 copies of Ash Blossom Joy Spring, the 2 copies of Effect Veiler, and the 3 Nibiru for the first lineup of the hand trap monsters, with the remaining ones being the 3 Fuelos and the 2 Perulia, which once again easy to access because we had them reprinted in the Megatins as well. For the spells, we run 3 copies of Live Twin Sunny Snitch. When it's activated, you can add 1 Live Twin monster from your deck to your hand. So just search power in the form of a continuous spell, and each time your opponent normal or special summons a monster while you control an Evil Twin monster, you gain 200 life points and inflict 200 to your opponent, which can really dwindle the difference between both of your life points by having this card also be able to stack multiple times on the field. Each turn, you're able to activate 1. We're also running the 1 copy of Fiendsmith Track, because this is the card you'll search off of Engraver, being able to add a light fiend monster from your deck to your hand. Then discard 1 card. You can banish this card from your graveyard to fusion summon 1 Fiendsmith fusion monster from your extra deck, using monsters from your hand or field. So having the option to then also go into those fiend extra deck monsters as well, with the remaining spells being 1 triple tactics talent, 1 crossout designator, and then the 1 call by the grave. Call by the grave and crossout, really putting in work just with the different hand traps we run to then be able to match with our opponent also. For the traps, running the 1 Fiendsmith in Paradise, with this card being used for the Lacrima setup as well, being able to send a Fiendsmith card with Lacrima from the deck to the graveyard. So you can send Fiendsmith in Paradise, being able to banish this card to send a Fiendsmith monster from your deck or extra deck to the graveyard. So more additional setup with this trap. And then the additional hand trap lineup just being the 3 infinite impermanents along with the other monsters we run in the deck. Once again, I really didn't find any clog issues with the amount of hand traps we run, just with the few little cards you needed for the actual Evil Twin Fiendsmith setup. And then for the extra deck, the 1 copy of Evil Twin Kiss Kill Deal. You can only link summon Kiss Kill Deal once per turn. You can send a Lila monster from your deck or extra deck to the graveyard. Apply this effect this turn. Each time your opponent activates a card or effect in response to your Kiss Kill or Lila monster, draw 1 card, and when that card effect resolves. So giving you draw power every time your opponent tries to respond to your Evil Twin or Live Twin plays can result in more draw power for you to then open up into the Fiendsmith engine. The 1 copy of Kiss Kill, along with the 2 copies of Lila, and the 1 Trouble Sunny for the rest of the Evil Twin lineup that we run in the deck. For the Fiendsmith Link monsters, the 1 Requiem and the 1 Sequence, just the additional Link monsters to go into, Requiem being the Lurie target to summon out, and then the Sequence for the additional fusion option, using the cards from our graveyard to shuffle back into the deck as well. The 1 Muckcracker along with the 1 Moon, the Closed Heaven, SP Little Knight, IP Masquerena, and then our final big Link monster being Albao Q, the Lightless Shadow, for an extra banish play for destroying cards in the field, and then special summon power for a light and dark monster from the graveyard also, with the remaining extra deck monsters being the 1 Fiendsmith Desiree, the 1 Necroquip Princess for another fusion target, for the added overlay to use with this card in Engraver to then be able to go into DDD Wave High King Caesar, with once again the majority of our cards in the extra deck being fiend monsters, so no real restriction for what we can summon out with our Evil Twin monster requirements. And then as for some of the go-to plays, as I mentioned before, you really only need the 1 Live Twin monster to respond to your opponent's plays. So whether it be Live Twin Kiss Kill or Kiss Kill Frost, you can initiate your plays right then and there. That's why if you have this, and let's say the remainder of your hand are hand trap answers, then you're pretty much set from there, because once again, you have the response for your opponent on their turn. Using the 1 additional monster, you summon out Live Twin Kiss Kill. For this summon, to special summon a Lila monster from your deck. So you want to go for Lila Sweet, but let's say your opponent hand traps your Kiss Kill. You could still go for the Link 1 play to then summon out your Kiss Kill Deal. Then having the initial response as well, sending the Lila for cost, will then activate the Kiss Kill Deal. So then every time your opponent tries to respond to a Kiss Kill or Lila monster for the rest of the turn, you'll draw a card, which if your opponent tries to respond with that play as well, let's say they try something and then you draw into a card. If you draw into part of your Fiendsmith package, all the better, because not only do you have the additional monsters to then rely on, you can go for the initial summon of your Lila Suite for your Link 2 play into your Lila. And then from there, Lila can summon back Kiss Kill Deal. If your opponent tries to respond at any point in these plays, you'll get the additional draw power. As I mentioned, if you draw into the Fiendsmith package, all the better. But then you can use those Live Twin monsters to then be able to summon out into your bigger go-to monster, being Trouble Sunny with its quick play effect. And if you get that Fiendsmith draw as well, you have the discard of this card initially as well to then be able to add your Tract. Tract will then activate, adding the Light Fiend monster, which in this case will be the Lurie, discarding the Lurie, summoning back the Lurie to then use it for a Link 1 play into your Requiem. Requiem tributing to then summon out your Lacrima. Lacrima will resolve the send effect of Paradise to the graveyard as well. And then from there, you can continue on with the initial plays for the extra deck setup using your Fiendsmith monsters also. But that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed. Like I said, just wanted to finally reveal the Fiendsmith Evil Twin deck profile on the channel, with the Megatin making things much more readily available for people to be able to build this deck. And as always, until next time, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and Kira Twig out.